Chapter 10. I want to be the boss. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Large cheers came from the audience. Although Gu Hai had won, he was also covered in blood. Ignoring the outside shouts, he slowly sat down on his knees, nourishing the injuries on his body with his true chi. Clan Master Li, will there be a problem with your number 1? Patriarch Songa said with extreme irritation. Patriarch Songa, it's not like you can't afford to lose, is it? Ha 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 ha. Gang Master Li Wei laughed. I will not be able to afford to lose. HMPH. Patriarch Songjia said irritably. Yo baby, you're right. Ha 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 ha, another win. Clan Master Li once again embraced Yu Yao and laughed. Yu Yao, however, did not utter a word and let Gang Master Li fiddle with her. While touching Yu Yao, Gang Leader Li looked at Gu Hai in the Colosseum and laughed. No, one did a good job. Bestow a wound healing pill. Yes, a subordinate answered. Wicked number 1. Help Master grant 1 wound healing elixir. Kneel down and thank you. The subordinate bellowed. The black-robed man at a loud shout, and the arena slightly quieted down. However, the black-robed man was seen probing his hand and throwing out a small porcelain bottle, throwing it in the direction of Gu Hai. Healing pill. It seems that the one evil man has made a lot of money for the Dafeng gang. Nonsense. Didn't you see so many people lose just now? Number 1. The surrounding gamblers were in the midst of their discussion. The small bottle containing the elixir landed in front of Gu Hai. Gu Hai closed his eyes to meditate. His eyes opened slightly and looked up at the Dafeng gang master in the VIP area. Gu Hai didn't bother to pick it up, but continued to meditate to heal his wounds. There was no reaction at all to Gang Master Li's reward. Gang Master's reward. Why don't you kneel down and thank him? The group of black-robed men at the exit of the Colosseum immediately glared and said angrily. Gu Hai paid no attention. Kneeling to thank you, Gu Hai only knelt to heaven and earth parents. How dare you? A black-robed man instantly rebuked angrily. It seemed like he was about to step through the exit to teach Gu Hai a lesson and pat the gang master on the back. Still not kneeling to thank the gang master, the black-robed man with a long whip seemed like he was about to whip over. Who are you? Gu Hai twisted his head, and a hint of ruthless light flashed from his eyes. That hint of ruthless light seemed to cause the black-robed man to have a steep jolt and his entire body chilled. The one evil man hadn't sealed his cultivation yet. He himself was standing in front of him. This was a vicious man who killed without blinking an eye. All ruthless people are. What if he wants to kill me? Who are you? The black-robed man reacted abruptly and turned his head in shock to run into the blue light shield. Once again, frightened back, the black-robed man glared at Gu Hai in annoyance. It was this evil man who had disgraced himself. Why don't you kneel down and thank the gang master? The black-robed man shouted angrily. Gu Hai still ignored it and continued to kneel down to heal his wounds. VIP area. Seeing Gu Hai's indifference, Gangmaster Li Wei was also upset. However, he had just won countless spirit stones and was in a soothing mood. So he didn't pursue the matter too much, only letting out a cold grunt. HMPH. Let's go. Gang leader Li slowly left with his arm around Yu Yao. Patriarch Songjia looked at the number 1 villain. A wave of disgust flashed through his eyes. Number 1 villain. What a nasty fellow. Just as nasty as Gu Hai. HMPH. Patriarch Songjia also left in a bad mood. Shoo. Steeply, red energy cords shot above the square once again, binding Gu Hai and pulling him into the exit. At the stone platform, Buzz. Gu Hai's cultivation was once again forcefully sealed. The black-robed man from earlier suddenly whipped. Splat. Aren't you marvelous? You dare not accept the reward from the gangmaster. How dare you glare at me just now? What? You come and kill me? Kill me? That black-robed man roared at Gu Hai. Pa, pa. A few more lashes hit Gu Hai. Gu Hai twisted his head to look at that black-robed man and said in a chilling tone, "I will. Ha ha ha, you die of this. How dare you stare at me? Don't you know how to kill people? Come and kill me. Pa, pa." That black-robed man kept smacking Gu Hai. Gu Hai, however, gritted his teeth and stopped uttering a single word as a cold smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Head. That number 8 villain didn't die. Another person beside him called out. "Oh, number 8 didn't die." The whip-wielding black-robed man stopped whipping Gu Hai and frowned. "Yes, but there's still a breath left. It's best if you didn't die. This reversal has made my Dafeng anger a lot." That no, 8 Jindan realm was reversed once. It might be reversed next time. It's all as is. We can make a big profit once more. Capture it. Seal the cultivation. And bring it back to Wicked Man Valley. The whip-wielding black-robed man commanded. Yes, the crowd quickly went to do it. Scar was already bloody at this moment. Only one breath left. The healing Dan that Gu Hai didn't eat was confiscated by the whip. Executing black-robed man didn't help Scar heal at all, merely splashing cold water to wake him up, and escorted the duo back. Along the way, Scar was incredibly weak, and was urged by the black-robed man with the whip to hurry up with Gu Hai. Gu Hai did not utter a word. "This brother, thank you, thank you." Scar shivered and whispered to Gu Hai. Scar remembered that at that time, Gu Hai had already stepped on his throat and was ready to kill himself, but in the end, it was he who begged for mercy and Gu Hai spared him. Gu Hai glanced at Scar and didn't say anything. "I'm not lying. I do have a blood feud. Thank you for sparing me. When a person is alive, even if it's miserable, there's still a chance. When a person is dying, there's no chance at all." Scar trembled and said. Gu Hai unexpectedly looked at Scar and finally nodded. In the midst of the whip, the duo headed back to the Wicked Man Valley. The duo arrived at the Wicked Man Valley. The black-robed man let out a loud shout, and a group of wicked people all gathered at once. "My lord has returned. I knew that my lord would definitely be able to return," Chen Chonchen shouted in surprise. "How did to come back this time? It shouldn't be. Wasn't it dead until the last one?" The evil people were talking a lot. "All right, a new round is about to begin. Those numbered a yin, all come out and follow me," a black-robed man bellowed. Clatter. In the crowd of villains, a group of villains immediately stepped out. They knew that they couldn't hide. They could only follow and leave. And of the yin column, there was actually Gao Xionzi. Gao Xionzi's face changed. Gu Hai was loosened from his shackles and slowly walked over, brushing past Gao Xionzi. "My lord," Gao Xionzi said worriedly, "I've taught you the heavenly blade life and death game, right? As a means to save your life and survive," Gu Hai said in a deep voice. "Yes." Gao Xionzi's expression was solemn. There were 18 people in total, all of them stepping out. "Put on the shackles, let's go," a team of black-robed men droned. "Yes." Clatter. A group of people put on shackles and were slowly escorted away by the black-robed men. The crowd of villains, at once, loosened up and spread out. "My lord, are you all right?" Chen Chonchen immediately went forward to assist Gu Hai. "It's fine." Superficial wound. Gu Hai shook his head. After arriving at a big rock with Chen Chonchen, Gu Hai took out some pills from the water helmsman token, which were left behind by Meng Tai at the beginning, and with Chen Chonchen present, he naturally recognized which ones were for healing. Taking an elixir, Gu Hai worked hard to heal his wounds. The effect of the elixir was very powerful. In 2 hours, almost all of the superficial wounds on his body were healed. "Brother." At this moment, a weak voice came from behind the boulder. "Hey." Gu Hai frowned as he looked forward at Scar. "What do you want?" Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Scar, however, suddenly knelt down towards Gu Hai and kowtowed 3 times to him. "What I said is true. Thank you, brother. Thank you for letting me go," Scar said gratefully. Gu Hai stared at the kneeling Scar for a while before nodding. Give him a healing elixir. Huh, Chen Chanshan's face changed. How did His Excellency leak the news of having an elixir to an outsider? Scar also revealed a bewildered look until Chen Chanshan took out an aromatic elixir and gave it to himself. This is a third-grade healing pill. A wave of astonishment appeared on Scar's face. Without hesitation, he immediately stuffed the elixir into his mouth. After eating it, Scar sat down on his knees to heal his wounds. The effect of the elixir was indeed powerful. The wounds on Scar's body, visible to the naked eye, were rapidly scabbing over, in the midst of rapid recovery. By the time it was night time, Scar had recovered most of his injuries. Scar looked towards Gu Hai. A wave of incredulity flashed through his eyes. Brother, how did you get it? What you shouldn't ask, don't ask, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Good. Scar nodded. Gu Hai stood with his hands in the air and looked towards the four directions of the Evil Man Valley. The four directions were surrounded by black mist and a gloomy atmosphere, and in the midst of one dark corner lurked a pair of icy cold eyes. Those who travelled on the edge of life and death never let their guard down at any time. Scar, tell me about the distribution of forces within this Evil Man Valley. Are there any groups? And what kind of situation is it within? As far as you know, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Huh, brother, what do you want to do? You won't want to. Don't be impulsive. Although these people have sealed their cultivation, but here are all ruthless people. All people who play with their lives. Scar was worried. Don't worry about me. Just tell me, which of them are the most ruthless? Gu Hai said in a deep voice. In the Valley of Evil Men, they usually don't fight much when they go out. The only one who comes back is the one who goes out. So no one knows anyone's strength. I probably know some of the evil men who come back every time, and they're probably the most ruthless ones. Scar gave Gu Hai some pointers. Gu Hai listened patiently for quite some time, cruising over the valley villains in silence before nodding heavily. Wait here. Gu Hai craned his neck, a fierce fighting spirit blossoming in his eyes, and said in a sardonic voice, My lord, where are you going? Chen Chanshan said in surprise. Stay where you are, don't come over, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Huh, Chen Chanshan and Scar showed surprise. Gu Hai slowly stepped out and walked around in the middle of the night, instantly attracting many villains to cast puzzled gazes. Slowly, Gu Hai walked to a small depression, in which a small group of 10 was resting at the moment. The small group of 10 had long noticed Gu Hai, and when they saw Gu Hai walking, they all revealed puzzled colors. A bald man at the head, with a face full of horizontal flesh and fierce eyes, looked at Gu Hai. Newcomer, what are you doing? The bald man stood up and coldly looked at Gu Hai. From today onwards, all of you have to listen to me, Gu Hai said with an irrefutable confidence in his tone. The 10 villains stood up at once and glared angrily at Gu Hai. I want to be the boss, Gu Hai clenched his fist and ordered. Ha, kid, you're looking for death. The bald man laughed coldly. Boom. Gu Hai's figure surged and punched above the bald man's stomach. The small group of people shouted at once. A swarm of people surrounded them. Chen Chanshan and Scar stared from afar. No one expected Gu Hai to just suddenly strike.